So why is it when an Israeli or an American kills somebody, it's just a matter of war or defense? But when a Muslim kills somebody, somehow it's Islam, it's Allah killing people. Is it because Palestine doesn't have money? Or is it because they shake their fists too much? In America, our money says, "In God we trust." If you want to become an official, you have to put your hand on the Bible. Our armies, our Christian armies, have killed people from every country all over the world, including each other. We've had our own civil war. We talk about the Muslims being bloodthirsty killers, when in fact we have raped, murdered, killed in the name of our God for centuries, not just the Crusades, but we're still doing it. Why is it even during World War II, which I'm not saying it's not justified, why don't we call it a Christian war? We were all Christians. Well, of course you wouldn't call it a Christian war, it was just a war. Then why are we calling Palestinians defending themselves a Muslim war? Well, they happen to be Muslims, and they're always waving their hands talking about God, but they love their God. They're passionate. When you're getting your butt kicked in a battlefield, God's all you can cling to. In the foxhole, there are no atheists. Soldiers who are facing death find God. It's comfort. And who is more likely to be facing death in a battlefield? A Palestinian or an Israeli? It's pretty clear. The ratio looks like right now from the last altercation, you're 100 times more likely to die as a Palestinian in a battle against an Israeli. We're going to blame them for loving their God when they fight? As Americans who back Israel and as Americans who fight battles all over, I'm not saying right or wrong about these battles, but we are lovers of God too. And we are killing people in the name of our God. And we look at the Native Americans, and they're a classic example because it wasn't that long ago, really, 150, 200 years ago. We rounded them all up. We killed them off. We rounded them into reservations. We starved them, and then when they left the reservations for food, to try to find food, we executed. In one case, we killed 300 young men and hung them all. A nice Christian hanging, killing them all from leaving the land, starving, searching for food. We killed the Chinese. We killed every immigrant. And no law enforcement would help them against our Christian Bible-wielding government. We forced these, especially the Native Americans and these other foreigners, into our schools, made them unlearn their spoken languages and learn our languages and learn our Bible. And we forced them with the sword to learn our religion, and they died at our hands. Okay, it wasn't an all-Christian army, but the Christians ran it. There were Chinese, I'm sure, that got a fair break. There were immigrants that probably got a fair break. So I did some big broad generalizations when I was speaking, and I used a very broad brush, and I probably inadvertently painted over some innocent people with the brush of my comment. Well, it's not unlike the way we see a Muslim do something bad and we just hate all Muslims. We paint the big broad brush and we hate everybody, including the innocent ones. Oh, screw the innocent ones. I don't want to be responsible for doing that, so I should be taken to task for not being wholly accurate in what I said. And in a lot of ways, I was acting just like the people who I don't like their behavior. The ones who say, oh, those Muslims, they're bad people. I'm not saying Americans are bad people. I'm not saying Israelis are bad people. I'm not saying it's all a Christian army. But it's the same philosophy, it's the same logic we use to demonize the Muslims, and we should be aware of it because we're creating a new breed of elitist haters on both sides. Well, it says right in the Quran, here's the quote right here, that they're going to take their land and they're going to do this, and then it says a holy war. Don't be stupid, you moron, it's a holy war, they want it. You know what? Israel wants it in a holy way, just the same way. America wants it in a holy way. It's a real estate deal gone bad. And guess who's getting screwed? It's the Muslims. The Americans aren't getting screwed. The Israelis are not getting screwed. It's the Muslim Palestinians that are getting screwed. Don't say, if you tell me you don't understand, they've got to kill every Jew and they've got to do this. You know what? When the Palestinians are fed and clothed and safe, then we can talk about what we believe their ulterior motives and intentions are. But while they're still slaves and enslaved in an open-air prison, it's not really time to talk about that yet. I'd be pissed off too, and I'd be shaking my hand, and I'd probably be clinging to my holy book. whether it be a Bible or a Quran or whichever. So